Greetings, every people. It's your cult personality here. Toon Critic's name, Toon's name of my game. Welcome back to Roundtable is Magic. You know us. You know what we do. We talk about the pawns of the Technicolor variety. We got a bunch of people here. We got Golden Fox.
You sound like you're stuttering whenever you're talking.
Do I? Nah.
Yeah, no, it's like you were like this. Something like that.
No. I'm formulating my words in a quick fashion.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm moving too fast for you to understand.
You're not expecting interruption.
That's a new one.
Ah, well. We have, oh wait, no, Ninja's not here. We have Voice of Reason.
Continuity.
Oi.
We have Lightning Bliss.
Touch the diamond.
Don't touch that!
We have Thespio.
Don't make me play the Full House theme.
And get us another
I will not indulge you to do that.
I will sink Tweak on you, I swear.
And our special guest, since this episode is about bringing old people back from the dead in a sense, we brought Silver Quill back from the dead, everybody.
Wait, are you insinuating he's old?
It's my 37th resurrection. 2 more and I get a toaster.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, a toaster's not too bad when you think about it.
I can imagine if we brought Dusty Cat or Dr. Wolf on board and you said they were old, I had a feeling they would not reply nicely to that. At least Silver Quill can take a beating and laugh at it.
Like I say, if you said that to Dusty, you'd be heading for the hills. He's like, I'm coming for you, Toon.
Oh. Okay. By the way, before we get this started, apparently Durgan dropped a picture in here for you, Silver Quill. Have fun with that. Anyways.
Is this safe for Blissy?
It's
safe.
A little bit, yeah. But actually, now that you brought it up, where is Ninja? Is he not here today?
Ninja, I believe, said he wouldn't be here because he's actually doing gymnastics, so... to be fair, we moved this on a different day when he normally could, so unfortunately we don't have everybody here, but...
so this automatically makes this podcast even more tolerable to be through.
Whoa!
The beef between Thespio and Ninja is real. Jesus.
Okay, hang on 1 minute. Hang on. With that image,
Yes?
I must take issue. Am I holding an android?
Yes?
Oh, I am offended. An android. Oh, harumph. Slender. Heresy.
I don't use those filthy androids.
No, I sold my soul to Steve Jobs ages ago.
Well, then.
As someone who first owned an Android before switching to an iPhone, I can back it up. It is the wisest choice you will ever make.
Anyways.
Let's all agree we stay clear of the Samsung Galaxy.
Yes.
Assuming it doesn't blow up in your face.
Well, I don't know. My Galaxy doesn't blow up in my face yet, so we'll see. Anyways.
It's biding its time.
Today we are discussing the Season 7 finale that was unfortunately leaked quite a while ago. Thankfully,
You leakers.
no one here hopefully watched it beforehand.
No, I waited until the day it aired.
Okay,
I waited.
good. So, this is Shadow Play. This is an interesting two-parter, to say the least. Who wants to get started?
Oh.
There's like a lot of ground to cover on this one, honestly.
Yep.
Well, don't everyone rip at once.
Okay. So just initial thoughts?
Yeah, we do one thing we liked, one thing we didn't like. You've been on this before, Silver. You were on the show when it was in its infancy, first 20 episodes. So.
Well, I figured a roundtable. Surely the host would start with what he liked most, eh?
Nah, I usually
before
let
the
other
whole
people.
Flash Citrus stuff.
It was a golden, more innocent age.
Yeah.
But now I can ship Rainbow Dash and Flash Magnus.
There you go.
All right, Silver. What is one thing you liked about the Season 7 finale?
The fact that everyone played a role, although it boiled down to Twilight, Starlight, and Star Swirl at the end. Even each of the main 6 got a moment to shine, which has not always been present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Well, I'm trying to be succinct.
Oh, okay, that's fair. All right, who do you pass it off to?
I will pass it off to the Blissy Bliss.
Something I liked about this series, this ending. It's kind of hard for me to figure out because I still have mixed feelings on it. I should have watched it again.
I know that feeling.
Well, I liked how... Well, I liked and yet disliked this at the same time. I liked that the elements of harmony didn't just show up out of the bloom anymore. They were grown. They were planted by these former heroes of 1,000 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was pretty interesting and kind of connected to the lore of it all that, well, once again, ponies are basically the, what do you call it, the conductor of magic from their own world or something.
Yeah.
I hope I'm using the right words for that.
I think you are.
I think I might know what you're saying. You're enjoying about like how the elements were created and implemented to all these future stories, and everything's coming full circle here.
Basically, yeah, and I liked how like the elements ended up becoming a distinctly slightly different thing from their own owners. So you have sorcery, though what's the difference between magic and sorcery? You tell me.
Each of them kind of seem different. Each one of them kind of complement each other.
I don't know what's the difference between sorcery and magic. They both sound the same to me.
I think it was like D&D. It's rather sorcery versus wizardry. Wizardry's learned, sorcery comes from within. I think that's what I think that's what it was.
But I like how like strength becomes loyalty, being beautiful becomes generosity.
Like it was,
healing.
like, I think it was, healing was kindness, hope was laughter, sorcery was magic, strength was loyalty, bravery was honesty, and
strength was strength was honesty, bravery was loyalty.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
And healing was kindness.
Yeah, healing was kindness. Yeah.
I would like to think that kind of opens up the door for more elementals to actually exist a little bit.
Well, actually,
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
to tie it in back to like the magical mystery cure, where Celestia was going over all the elements that Twilight represented. That's what I think where each one had a connection. Where strength and honesty was integrity, bravery and loyalty was devotion, beauty and generosity was charity, healing and kindness was compassion, hope and laughter was optimism, and sorcery and magic was leadership.
Is anyone else getting a Pokemon flashback? It's like, what's this? Your hope is evolving. your hope evolved into laughter.
Yeah, I suppose that would have to be my positive. I could go on with other positives, but I'll pass it on to... Oh, did I hear me? From Edge Brother?
Maybe.
Alright, Edge Brother.
Okay. So from what I recall, and actually I'm going to ask Silver this question. So they built up a lot of these characters that they've introduced into the season steadily through the comics, right? The Legends of Magic series, right?
Oh, yes, indeed. They've tackled each character individually, and now they're being introduced into the group of pillars individually.
Yeah, and I did like how each of them complemented one another. I think someone in here talked before about how the roles worked. Everyone had a role to do. I, in particular, actually found Sunburst to be a nicely developing character throughout this finale. I like that he was at the forefront helping out with the magic. He's actually becoming a more useful character. We got more glimpses of that through Uncommon Bond. And I like how he's actually seeming like a more real, fleshed-out character, and not just a throwaway character. It's good to see him, I think.
Isn't it weird that I was kind of suspecting he was going to be the next Star Swirl? I don't know why. I just had a sneaking suspicion, and then it didn't happen. I'm like, oh.
When didn't Keyframe say in the the season 6 react? Hey, look, it's Star Swirl's son.
That's what I was. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
he was a predecessor. No, an ascendant. What do you call it? Yeah.
Descendant.
No. He's like
ancestor?
Star Swirl's the ancestor to him. Yeah.
Would you like to ship Star Swirl and Sunburst?
No.
Oh.
That's
Who
quite
else but
alright.
Silver?
I will continue my sunlight ship. So we're gonna keep going with that train. We're gonna keep that train rolling.
Hello. You didn't think I would make it to the own finale, would you? Of course I'm here.
Oh, hi, Ninja.
Coming in from in the middle of a field on a very weak signal. How are you doing?
Good. Do you really quickly want to give your thoughts on the season 7 finale?
My thoughts on the season 7 finale. My positive is Star Swirl was pretty cool. I guess he's a bit late, but yeah, he was pretty neat. I also liked how Princess Celestia and Luna kind of fangirled over him. It was like, oh my god, you're alive? Like, wow, it's incredible. That was pretty fun. I suppose my negative, which there are plenty more of, but I'll spare you with just one. My negative is that aside from Starlight, Twilight, and maybe Star Swirl, no one really did have a lot to do this episode. And for a finale, that's a big deal.
Hello?
Oh,
And
Ninja?
he died.
And he's dead.
No, Ninja, cut back from the grave.
But he was going on about how he felt that the not all the characters had a really big vital role. Like, it pretty much was all.
Unfortunately, with as many
understand
characters.
that.
If you look on the upper right here of the podcast, you see the image I put here with all the characters. To be fair, it's hard for every single character here to get something to do. So,
Here's even as you have a lot of characters.
One at a time, guys.
Sorry.
go ahead, Fox.
No, I was just saying, you know, to be like, yeah, you only like even with the huge amount of characters for a two-parter, you're not going to be like a lot of the characters are more than likely to just take the back seat.
Yeah.
True, but if that's the case, then why have them?
Because they're main characters. The writers feel obligated to throw them in there.
Hang on, I'm missing context. Are you talking about the extra ponies they threw in?
No,
we're talking about the rest of the main 6.
Yes, no. They deserve to have at least a contribution. Aside from going to find their totem stuff.
And died again.
Keep on cutting out, dude.
Son of a...
It's the latest game, Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja. Oh, the puns are real.
The puns are real. But I find it interesting. Ninja and I are taking kind of polar views on this, because I celebrate that each of the main 6 went on a mini quest to get their item, and even Spike got to do something good by upstaging Garble. Now, compare that to every season premiere and finale since A Cancelot Wedding, in which it's really been a story of Twilight and the main 5. She's acted as an independent. They've been more or less a group as a character. This one, it started with everyone getting to have an individual role, but once you brought the 6 pillars in, it became Twilight, Starlight, Star Swirl, the main 6, the main 5, and the pillar 5.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I
Too many cooks, too.
Ow!
God damn. All right, Ninja.
And there goes the PG.
It's like, is someone
It's already been gone.
is someone already playing a turntable? I was like, wow.
Anyways, what point are we? What point are we on? Let's see if we can cycle back here.
we were addressing, like, so Ninja was getting his 2 parts out of the way, but we're technically still at a positive. So it was Toon, then it was Ninja. So who do you pass it off to?
Too many cooks, too many cooks.
Ninja, who do you pass it off to?
Who's been?
Me, Silver and Bliss.
Oh, yeah.
How about Golden Fox?
All right, Golden.
All right. Okay. I wasn't sure whether or not I would save this for the negative or the positive. Basically, it's me kind of defending Star... What?
Keep going.
Keep going.
There was this point that I don't know whether or not I would save this for the negative portion, because there was a thing that irritated me, not by the episode, but kind of by the people around reacting to the finale. So I've been hearing this complaint back and forth saying that Star Swirl's a jerk, or he's an asshole, and so on and so forth. You guys also have to remember this actually is technically in character if you remember the ending of Magical Mystery Cure. He did not understand friendship, and that also explains why, like, how the situation started between him and the Pony of Shadow.
I always thought he was a jerk since Rainbow Rocks. Stop throwing your garbage into other dimensions.
I only say he could have been a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not saying totally get rid of all that personality, because yeah, it made sense to have him act that way. But that is still a princess you're talking down to. You could show a little respect. No, okay. I know you taught Celestia and Luna, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, if I also may add here, and I could get argued for this, the other thing to mention is that because he doesn't understand friendship, he doesn't really spend too much of his time socializing, and this is something in which both the Twilight and Starlight was trying to talk to Star Swirl about in regards to what to do with the Pony of Shadow, and he continued neglecting them or rejecting their suggestion that maybe you should talk to them about it. And he's like, I cannot solve problems with just a conversation. Yeah, Star Swirl, why don't you have a seat right over there?
Someone needs to be educated.
I mean, it has been a few thousand years, give or take. I don't know.
I mean, maybe that's just how things were done back then, and of course things were different back then. I can understand him being like that, and again, it's like he taught Luna and Celestia, I'm assuming when they were Alicorn, so for him to say, oh, I should respect her because she's an Alicorn, no. She brought us back to, after all my effort to keep this evil from destroying our lands, this little nobody Alicorn who somehow mastered one of my spells brought us back and basically doomed the entire world. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I can see why he's angry.
Me and Starlight agree. Me and Starswell agree that Twilight is the worst character.
No. I will fight you.
Oh dear.
I will cough on you, sir.
However, Star Swirl's fallibility was on display well before he started ribbing on Twilight. It's in it's in the opening narration when he says, "My companions and I must make a brave sacrifice." It's clear this dude has bought into his own hype. We're so brave. We're so awesome. I'm so smexy.
No, I think that's cool because for a while we've seen in the comics we've seen like adaptations of him, but we've never actually seen a proper like screen adaptation of him, like TV adaptation.
Yeah.
But he definitely linked his ego to his abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the best. He beats out Celestia and Luna.
Every time that Star Swirl is mentioned, even like there's this aura about it. There's this hype behind it.
He lives up to his own hype, I guess. Like
except for his first mention, way back in Luna Eclipsed, he had a shelf named after him in the library.
Yeah.
A shelf.
Yeah.
The funny thing of go ahead.
He suffers from pride. He reminds me of a male Twilight, basically, back in her first two seasons, kind of being full of himself, and yeah.
I can see that.
I'm kind of surprised.
Question: are we past the positive and negatives now?
No,
and
I still haven't gotten my positive.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I just love how everybody's so oblivious that this conversation keeps on derailing everywhere.
Yeah, let's try to keep things back on track, please.
Have you not spoken with
Add one. Start.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead, Fox.
I wanted to add one little thing about Star Swirl, is that I'm glad that, because at the time, like when I first heard about Star Swirl, and they only mention him from time to time, I thought that he was just a MacGuffin. Now he's no longer a MacGuffin, he's actually a character, and now he's serving a purpose in the show, and not just, a plot device that drives the story forward without going in full detail.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so who hasn't gone? Voice and Will?
Yeah, and Silver. Oh, wait, no, Silver already went, sorry.
Yeah, Silver was the first.
All right, so I pass it on to Voice.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take yours, but something I never thought I'd actually say.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Just say it.
I like Starlight in this episode.
Yay!
What was that? I didn't
Praise
quite
be
hear
for the
you.
Church of Glim Glam and the Zimzams.
please speak up louder so the back of the chat can hear you.
Starlight in this episode.
Praise be for Starlight Glimmer.
I like Starlight in this episode.
Glam glam and the zim zam.
Now,
It's like it's all just bling glam and the wee.
Now, the only reason I'm saying this is because character progression. It actually feels like she's progressed as a character since the cutie remark. Like learning again, the whole thing with sometimes a conversation can derail. What was it like? You basically using diplomacy instead of going right into the attack. Starlight has learned from her lessons, especially what's going on with her and Stygian. But seriously, you named your character Stygian in the Pony of Shadows? Seriously?
Whoops.
By the way, Stygian just is another name for black or dark.
Oh wow!
I learned something new.
I'm gonna stand away from that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you blame the Stygian pony.
Oh, come on!
You people had to make a risk.
But yes, Starlight having learned the lesson, learning from her learning from her mistakes and what she went through through her events in not just the cutie remark but the cutie map, and each time she's had to deal with those mistakes and reflecting it back to Star Swirl and what he's doing right now with Stygian. Really shows that she has grown as a character since the beginning of season 6, and I love that.
I'm awkward about Starlight in this episode, but I'll get to it in the post show, I guess.
All right.
Alright,
I believe you pass it off to Will.
And yes, Will, you may follow up.
Yeah.
Say it!
Oh God.
Say it! I swear I will twist your horn!
What was that?
Alright, I'm gonna cough on him. Stand back.
Starlight Glimmer was a good character in this
Praise
finale.
be the Church of Glim Glam and the Zim Zams.
Praise be the glue glam.
Praise be the Glim Glam. Praise be, and unto you, amen, unto you, and to you.
You're gonna love you're gonna like my heel turn.
Tune.
What?
I may like her in this finale, but there is no way in hell you will ever get me to say that wretched phrase.
I never
Words.
ever say never. I'm the Sawhorse.
You know, I could say something there, but I'm not going to. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like in here, Starlight is coming full circle. They're finally. For the longest time, I felt like the staff didn't know what to do with her, especially in season 6. But she's. I'm trying to find the right words. She's getting there, and I feel like this is like another big stepping stone for her to become a more enjoyable character. But yeah, that's going off of Voice's point. My actual positive is I'm surprised that nobody has talked about this yet, especially Bliss being the animation nut she is. The Shadow Pony's animation, especially when he's forming, is freaking gorgeous.
Oh, no. I'm right there with you. I kind of watched that in slow motion and was trying to tell, was that hand done? That looks pretty hand done to me. Oh my god, that is hand done!
Yeah, I don't think I can't, like, off the top of my head, I can't name another instance in this show, in other previous seasons, where it doesn't look like it's animated in Flash. It looks like it was hand-drawn. And just how, like, it's flowing and everything as he's, turning into the shadows. Speaking of which, when Stygian first turned into the Pony of Shadows with the black oozing from his eyes,
Yeah,
a family show! I'm sorry, but that was creepy!
I was getting a lot
I've
of
seen
Venom
worse.
vibes off that, personally.
If that's
Yeah, I
if
got the
that's
symbiote.
you don't want to watch G1, sir.
That was like full on Zalgo effect. I was like, wow.
Actually, when I first saw that, I'm going off of two, is like, did he get infected by the Venom symbiote by accident?
Yeah, exactly. Like you and I was thinking the same thing too.
But yeah, just the animation on the Pony of Shadows, it's pure eye candy. Like not like eye candy in the sense of like, you know, bright visuals like, you know, the My Little Pony movie is, but you know, just little instances of where you can tell the animators really went to town on a certain segment. It's a bravo, I applaud you.
Jamie was on screen for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna reserve my negative.
Yeah, I will give it this much. I did want to see more of him, but the story was more focused on, you know, Twilight and Star Swirl and the rest of the other characters. But the few times he did show up on screen, I think it was a real treat for the eyes to see him. And also, big props to Bill Newton, who voiced the Pony of Shadows. He's coming a long way from, you know, like first he was Bright Mag, then he was Pharynx, and now he's the Pony of Shadows. He's becoming one of my new favorite voice actors on the show. He's climbing up. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. So yeah, props to you, Bill.
I admit I'm kind of becoming a fangirl of Bill Newton now because I love his Pharynx voice and his Bright Mag. And you know the sad thing is, I was at Cider Fest. I was the only vendor that had a Pharynx print, and I didn't even get his autograph.
Oh,
Nice going.
Yeah,
He will be a high roller in Everfree, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that
think
makes me bad.
yeah, I think it was announced for Everfree and High Roller or something like that. So there's a chance. But yeah, also having met Bill Newton at Oktoberfest, he's a really swell guy to be around.
He is a very nice person. He is a gem. Quite a gem.
So yeah, that's really my positive that I'm surprised nobody really touched on. The few times that the Pony of Shadows came into play, he was cool.
Yeah.
Wish we could have stayed for longer, but then again, it was more focused on Star Swirl, and I can't fault the writers for that. And now the negative.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Ninja, just get this over. Let's get it over with.
Go on. I'm home now, so no more connection drop. I'm prepared and awaiting your glory.
You're just...
He's a villain. He's a heel. What do you expect?
He is our resident heel, so...
You're going to be surprised with the heel turn this episode, trust me.
Knowing you, I highly doubt it.
We'll see.
Alright, what is your negative, Will?
Uh-oh. Should I take my headphones off?
She was in character. Nothing really seemed out of it for her. Twilight, what happened to you?
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, okay, I understand, you know, wanting to meet your idols and stuff like that, but... what were you thinking?
Unfortunately, I love Twilight. I feel like she represents me a lot, but no, I'm with you, Uncle Zoghorse. I'm banging my head against the wall.
Without telling Celestia, without telling Luna, without telling
you.
Discord.
Yep. I'm like, why?
This is the Twilight I hoped I would never see again since the cutie remark. I'm sorry, she was an idiot!
Ooh, can we have a moment of silence for all of the Star Swirl is Discord theories?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a brief moment.
Texarax.
All right.
Actually, you should have a moment of silence for the Journal of the Two Sisters, which is now completely contradicted.
Yeah. A moment of silence in 3, 2, 1. That's enough.
What contradiction?
Well, in the Journal of the Two Sisters, it's established that Star Swirl is a time traveler. One day he'll show up with a brown beard that's cut short. 10 minutes later, you see him walking by with this elderly flowing beard. He also took Celestia and Luna to meet the Tree of Harmony, which was fully grown and had Twilight's symbol fully displayed, and he hinted that he already knew about Twilight. So this has changed, or at least been contradicted, as if the whole... Remember how everyone was up in arms over the comment that Flurry Heart was the first naturally born alicorn in Equestria?
I have my own objections to that.
But now the journal is suffering further contradictions.
Who wants to join me for a book burning?
I'm gonna be that person, kind of like what Aeon did with my Alicorn review, and say that this is the result of having too many writers on a show.
Are you sure you're not just copying British? She was singing it a minute ago. British.
It's more the fact that so many writers are writing at the same time and not proofreading the script and looking at the continuity, as M.A. Larson pointed out in our interview with him.
I miss Laura Faust. I want her back.
I don't know if we want her back.
I do.
Well, just...
She was better at writing lore, but she's not as good as a lot of people put her on a pedestal for. Yes, she created the framework, which is cool, but...
Well, I like the lore. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
But back to Twilight, she's known for having tunnel vision. It's a flaw, but I won't say it's out of character flaw.
No.
Well, yeah, like I said, this was not out of character for Twilight to do all this. Yeah, I agree. Just it was hard to sit through.
It's mainly
like
if I may,
go ahead.
I think it's mainly to what extreme. Like, yes, we know that Twilight does have tunnel vision, and it has backfired on her in the past, but this is... There is a story of them sealing away, sacrificing themselves to fend off a great evil that she read aloud. You know, it's... How did you think this was going to go, honey? Like, without telling everyone as well? It seems a little too extreme, even for her, and that's saying something, that's for sure.
See, I would not have been bothered about all this if she just did the one thing that I kept expecting her to do, but she didn't do it the whole time. Talk to Luna and Celestia first, and then do what you think is right. And see, I would have been more tolerable of her and her little tunnel vision mistake if she had done that and then decided to go with her gut feeling anyway, because then I could have said, at least she got some feedback before she attempted. But no, we didn't. We just skipped over that. So yeah.
The sadder thing is, okay, there was this. I remember where I think I forget which episode I was watching, but I was watching one of the earlier season 7 episodes with Katie, and she made the remark that I think is slowly becoming true given this finale, and it horrifies me to the core. I think that with the other princesses not doing anything, that doing nothing sort of attitude is seeping into Twilight. And that scares me.
Well, here is hoping that won't be entirely true, because at the end she did realize something was wrong, and then she acted upon what her crown is representing to fix a friendship problem, and she did, with help.
No, just Twilight started out really strong. She's still one of my favorite characters next to Rarity. I don't know about you, but I am really, really frightened for the rest of her development in seasons following. Just, I don't know what they're doing with her now. There's someone else that I forget who it was, but it's like other characters are stealing plot relevance from her, and I don't know. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're making sense. Try not to ramble on a little bit too much, though.
Yeah, sorry, but there you go, Ninja. I admitted that Twilight was an idiot in this episode. You happy now?
Not yet, and you'll see why in a bit.
Oh,
so we've had Will admit that he likes Starlight and not like Twilight. Is it opposite day?
It's opposite day,
God,
apparently.
I wish!
Wait. He might be the Mirror Universe Will. Check for a beard.
Ha!
Come here, beard horse. Oh, he doesn't have a beard.
Doesn't help that I'm actually growing one right now.
Aha! Caught red-handed.
Anyways, who was before Will? I believe that was Voice.
I was.
All right, go ahead, boys.
All right.
keep this train
Well, I
rolling.
actually absolutely love this episode. Most of the negatives I have are just nitpicks. Although one of the nitpicks is let's go back to the continuity thing. Let's see. Again, referring back to the comics, there's one thing I liked about the continuity and another thing I didn't like about the continuity, and both involve retcons.
Oh,
The
boy.
retcon I loved in this episode is the fact that they retconned Fiendship is Magic number 3. Thank goodness, because that thing was terrible.
You mean the dazzling one, right?
Yes, the dazzling one.
It was less than dazzling.
Yes. Yes. Thank goodness they retconned Fiendship is Magic number 3. The thing that they did retcon that I'm kind of mad at is the Reflections arc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
That's an arc. That's a thing.
That's actually my favorite arc in the main series. But yeah, the retcon of that is kind of problematic with the whole the Star Soul disappeared. But what about the whole thing with her and Good Sombra and my head hurts.
This was clearly evil, Star Swirl.
I guess because that Star Soul represented Pinkie Pie more than Twilight. I guess.
Well, actually, he was just another crossover Star Swirl from the Pinkie Pie dimension where everyone's like Pinkie.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Terrifying when I think about it.
Headcanon accepted.
All right, I'll pass it back to.
So I just want to say one thing. So are people still going to rely on the comics now, saying, "Oh, the comics explain this for the show"?
No, because the
I don't
comics have
know.
never been canon.
It worries me.
Enjoy the comics separately as a different interpretation. The comics are not canon to the show.
Yeah.
Stop pointing to the comics and saying, "Oh, well, it goes like this," and it's.
I'll be glad to talk more about that when I get around to making a video about it, because I've been meaning to
comics
talk
are
about
fun.
it for a while.
Comics are great. I absolutely love the comics.
Okay, let me just say this. I'm not saying the comics are bad or that, I can't, stand the comics or anything like that. It's when people are using it as, you want this in the show? The comics explain that. The comics explain this. The comics explain this part, this detail and such. No, I want the show to explain that. And I got called narrow-minded for that, and a bunch of other fiasco bullshit that I don't want to talk too much about, so voice continue.
Oh, can I just add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
As
Liz.
can I.
Okay,
Bliss and Silver.
if Golden is there about it, I guess so am I. Because sorry if I don't want to spend money to find out something that should be in the show.
Thank you! The show should stand on its own.
Anyway.
Well, I just want to say, Golden, you will find a sympathetic soul in Mike Vogel, who at this very moment is having some guy on Twitter lecturing him about Equestria girls in continuity with the show now, and trying to basically tell him his job, which I'm gonna say is crossing certain lines that get into fame and misfortune territory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
If I may, really quick before we move on, I think when people talk about the comics, I think the comics are a nice supplement. They are not mandatory reading. I think they are a nice supplement if you want to learn more. I think the reason there is the My Little Pony comic series is because it can do stuff that the show can't. The show already has like a build, a focus around it. The comics allow it to go into different territories with different characters that normally we wouldn't really see in the show. The comics have done a lot darker things than the show has. So in a way, I really do admire the comics. I think they are not necessary, but they are a nice bonus if you want them. I'm not for the whole, read the comics because this explains such and such, because first off, it's not canon. So yeah, the comics are fine on their own, just you don't need to bash them or anything.
And that's perfectly fine. If you enjoy the comics, then you enjoy the comics. I'm not talking about the quality of the comics. It's how people misuse the comics to pretty much addressing what you just pointed out, saying, you want information or details about this character? The comic book explains that.
Okay.
That's telling the viewer having to do homework and spending money on it.
This is why when
Shall
they did
we?
the Legends of Magic series, they made a whole separate series just to start talking about these characters and building up hype for them. So in a way, it
We have
works.
derailed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we get back to the episode?
I was only going to be bringing up the comics as that last part. So, I believe
That
Fox
was
you already
voice.
Well,
that was voice.
Well,
and
I
I
had
think
my point about the retcons in terms of comic continuity, but other than that, just like minor nitpicks. Again, the whole Twilight summon everyone, including what was it? Including the pony shadows. I think, well, what do you expect was gonna happen?
So, Fox, did you get your point?
Personally, I'm just going to go ahead and just apply the comics as that sort of negative, because I really don't have as much of a negative. I'm pretty much with a lot of people about Twilight's character and a couple of other things in which I can't really think straight about or think clearly about. I mean, in general, I really like this episode. I don't want to hate it. There's a lot of exciting things to it, but I know about the issues.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I want to apologize also for how badly this has been derailing all over the place. I blame Silver Quill. So
It's
Thank
the
you.
finale, dude.
No, I mean, when you think about it, this episode is reflecting on a majority of a lot of things of what we wanted to see in the show, and now there's a huge debate on what worked, what didn't, and there's a lot of pros and cons that we're each addressing in this entire extravagant, set of details that could derail off of what's related to the comics and whatnot.
It's kind of like this is a review of the episode, but it's also like a season 7 roundup.
no,
And
we
it's
got that.
like
We
a
got that
wrap-up
saved
or
for
something.
another episode. So
Oh well, in a sense, it's sort of leading up to that.
yeah. So Fox, did you want to still continue, or who do you pass it back to?
I'll pass it back to who went.
Well,
think
Ninja
it
already
was
said
you.
his negative.
Hello.
But,
Well,
Ninja,
I
you wanna add more?
yeah, I would like to add more in light of recent events.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Well, something that's interesting. There's something that a lot of people. I am, of course, a proud member of the Church of Glim Glam and the Zimzam.
Yes, amen.
However,
Oh God.
there is one character who I disliked more than Twilight in this episode, and that was Starlight Glimmer. I really didn't like Starlight in this episode. In fact, I'd say that this is, yes, it's core to her character, but this is the worst use of that character. Like, let's apply Starlight's diplomacy logic to someone like Nightmare Moon or Discord. The world would have ended, essentially. The world would have been kaput. You could have maybe tried to reason with them, but they were pretty hard set on their whole let's end the world kind of thing. Diplomacy in fiction only works when the writers decide it works, and isn't a really good method for real life. So when, let's use, for example, Discord. You know, if you tried to use diplomacy on Discord, he would just click his fingers and would have been gone. In this situation, I completely agree with Starswell. I think that, hey, this dude is going to destroy the world and plunge it into everlasting darkness. I'm one of the strongest wizards of all time, and we can stop him from doing this. Yes, we can try diplomacy, but chances are he's just going to ignore you and just kill us all. So the part that really ticked me off the most is when Starlight goes, oh, well, if Starswell was around, I guess you wouldn't have given me a second chance. To which I responded, yes! You didn't deserve a second chance. You nearly broke all of space and time. Twilight left you so off the hook. You had zero punishment for what you did. It was awful, and no one liked the fact that Starlight got left the hook. So the fact that she's bringing up here as an argument to saying, hey, maybe he's not so bad, only works when the writers decide it works, and I don't like that. I like natural storytelling, not contrived saying, oh, I guess he's a good guy all along kind of storytelling. And on the elements of harmony, saying, hey, I guess the elements of harmony really didn't want you to be violent. That is nonsense compared to what the elements of harmony have done. They killed Sombra, sent Nightmare Moon to the moon for 1,000 years, and banished Discord to stone. Elements of harmony are pacifism, my butt.
Well,
So-
one sec. There is one inconsistency there. The elements didn't blow up Sombra.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no.
that was the Crystal Heart.
That was the Crystal Heart.
Okay, true. All right. You know what? Yeah, extrude that example. But what I'm saying is the show is sounding quite pretentious when it has clearly used effective violence in the past. So such pacifism against Vivian, or whatever his Sidious, or whatever his name was, sorry. Stygian. I don't like it. It feels really unnatural. It feels like they forced him to be a good guy.
Well,
I wanted a villain.
Unfortunately, you're telling this to a show that's catering to teaching kids about friendship.
And you can teach kids about friendship, and you should teach kids when not to use friendship.
This is kind of how I felt.
That is a fact of life. You can't.
That's a counter argument to the point of the show.
No. Effective uses of friendship. Friendship shouldn't be just used every time, or else people will just take advantage of you.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah,
you're
life,
kind
and
of
it sucks.
describing how I felt a little bit when it came to Sombra being reformed in the comics. So,
Well, alternate world Sombra, but still.
yeah, but you know.
Well,
so.
actually, Ninja, if I may, first of all, I'm actually really surprised you brought that up, because that was also another thing that I like. It was a thought that was sort of nagging at the back of my mind, but at the same time, with Starlight, offering this what you think is a terrible idea, I actually am inclined to disagree, because like follow me on this. Like, Star Swirl did if we take Star Swirl out of it, because he was with Twilight and Sunburst with the spell and all that, but the other 5 pillars, they also knew him as Stygian and stuff like that, and
They all trusted him, and they betrayed him, or at least from their perspective.
Well,
from their perspective, Stygian came back to the castle after being rejected. Wrongfully true, but he came back to the castle and attacked them with shadows. And then threatened to plunge the entire world into darkness.
Well, he probably wouldn't have done that if everybody agreed to communicate, because Stygian said himself, he was the one that brought them all together to stop the sirens in that flashback.
Aye.
So it's basically like Stygian, like in a way, both sides were in the wrong. Like a Stygian, he brought them all together, and okay, like as a side thing here, isn't it kind of interesting about how he became the Pony of Shadows, because the credit for putting them all together was not given to him? Am I the only one that's thinking that the Legend of Donut Steel is now canon?
Oh no.
On topic, rejecting him from the group is a slap on the wrist from nearly destroying the entire world with darkness.
Well,
It's not just 2 wrongs don't make a right here. Stygian nearly destroyed the entire world. Here's the thing. We knew that Discord, there was more to him, and he could have been possibly reformed, but you don't reform him on the spot. You have to annihilate the threat first, and then go in and, say, hey, look, we got you by the balls here. Be a good person. Same with Nightmare Moon. You had to destroy the evil first and then get rid of it. With this, it was more like, yeah, I'm gonna guess he's a good guy on the inside, so I'll just hope this works and, jeopardize the entire mission. It's just, in any other show, in any other logic, in any other story, that would have been the stupidest decision in the world. And I don't like Starlight. I feel like she is kind of the main character, and the main 6 are just on the sidelines with the rest of the totem people. I didn't like it.
Well, I would be inclined to agree with you if I will say this, that I don't know if it'll rebuttal your opinion, but yeah, they did say they tried talking to him, and when all 12 along with or 14 with Starlight and Sunburst, they tried their whole Elements of Harmony spell to send the Pony of Shadows away. If it weren't for Stygian trying to escape the shadows, then Twilight wouldn't have realized, it's like, oh wait, there's another living being who looks like he's in the worst pain ever. There must be something to that.
No, I don't. I see where you're going for with that one, but again, it's just kind of letting the bad guy go, that kind of thing. I would have thought that Twilight would have just trusted in Star Swirl that this really was a bad guy at that point, if it's talking logically. Anyway, I'm rambling for too long, so I will end this saying with an adaptation of another saying. Glim glam in the trash can.
Oh, damn.
Ouch.
Ignoring.
Wow.
Okay, then.
I'm just waiting for Star Swirl to say, from what I've told you is true, from a certain point of view. Followed by, it's over, Stygian, I have the high ground.
Oh!
2 for 1.
Which, actually, if you look back at the flashback at Ponyhenge, he was on the high ground.
To be fair, yeah, he was. Alright, so, I have lost track of who is who.
I think it was you.
Jack.
Oh, I
You're
am?
next. Yeah,
Yes.
you're next, then me, then Silver.
Oh, boy.
Oh god, here comes cartoons.
Yep.
Yeah, this episode was good. I liked it. I don't really have anything to say on it. Like, those two over there kind of already took all my points. But if I were to pick something, I noticed something in this episode that bothered me that really shouldn't have, but yet it did. How is everyone feeling about Flash Sentry's D&D character being in this? Like, Flash, honey boo boo child. You, sir, are not clever. Flash, Magnus, really? We can't show Flash Sentry in the Ponyverse anymore, so we had to reboot Flash, basically. Now he's this uber cool dragon-slaying warrior with a shield. Okay, good for you. I don't think we've ever had to soft reboot a character before, but congratulations. You, just like in the past, your presence was here, but not at the same time, so,
Can I just say, during the retrieval for the Flash Magnus' shields, all I was thinking of was, by the way, like, you know, if I fly back up, I win easily. Why don't you just give me the shield and make it a fair fight? Okay, roll bluff, nat 20.
yeah. The other thing I'm disappointed at is why was Flash Magnus not voiced by Vincent Tong? Because that was telegraphed. That was perfect. It was absolutely perfect, and you people who make the show missed the joke, and I am very disappointed in you.
Yeah, well,
Still shipping with Rainbow Dash.
Oh. Everybody is at this point. Like, how many husbandos does, like, Rainbow Dash have at this point? I lost count.
Well, it's probably -1, assuming that Zephyr Breeze isn't dead yet.
Also, just saying. I mean, Flash, buddy, you look good for someone who's been sealed away for 1,000 years. Gotta say, I want your secret, man. That's pretty good. Anyway, that's all I gotta say on that. So I pass it back to Blissey.
Yeah, I think that this ending, I think I'm angry with it as a nutshell because I felt like it should have been a movie. There were so many things that had so much going for it, but they had to crunch it in a 44-minute basic 2 episodes, 44 minutes altogether. This should have been a movie. There were too many characters, and not a lot of them I felt like were given enough credit or enough screen time, except for the main 3, which was Star Swirl, Twilight, and Starlight. I felt like the villain was extremely rushed. He was beautifully created. I loved the backstory behind him, and yet I really had no reason to fear him other than what Star Swirl was telling us. Like, oh, well, he's going to plunge the world into eternal darkness. Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Get in line.
Can we see an example of his power and destruction? Because thus far I haven't seen anything other than him being really big and powerful and scary looking, and he's claiming he's going to do these things, and yet we haven't actually seen him do anything since he returned. So I love that little saying, "Show you must do, tell you do not."
Also, it was kind of funny that he's going to look for all these patches of darkness, and they're all gone. I kept expecting Bane to just pop up and say, "Time has made a mockery of you. You are no longer relevant.
What?
I am Equestria's reckoning."
Also, I've noticed that the Pony of Shadows goes to he's hell-bent on going to a lot of dark places, but so far, electricity is not kind to him.
No?
Especially in Manhattan.
I would think this wouldn't matter. He is a creature of shadows. He just blocks out the light.
I found it really funny how there was just Equestria's that nice. There are no dark places anymore.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if all they had to do to defeat the Pony of Shadows was to just shine a spotlight on him?
Oh, so we're talking the Pajama Sam effect here. Okay, cool.
Yeah, either that or just play a nice round game of cheese and crackers.
I'm just
And
saying.
just seal them away in my limited edition Pajama Man lunchbox.
At the end of the day, I just felt like, once again, the show suffered pacing. And I was really just kind of hoping for more. Instead, it felt extremely rushed, and I couldn't really invest into it as much as some of the other finales we've had.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
thought last season's finale was
If
so
I may,
much better.
if I may,
No, I think this one actually is a lot better.
I don't
Thank you.
agree.
address something. Somebody mentioned an interesting point in the chat. People say this should have been the film. In some ways, yes, but when you look at it from a general audience perspective, the story could confuse so many people, so it makes sense why they didn't use this instead. Also, it's weird that in this quality, I think it's better than the film, but as entertaining as the other way around.
Well,
I'm not saying it would
let me-
be. I'm not saying if it were to be a movie, it wouldn't be very well accepted throughout a general audience, but I'm still saying it probably would have been better off as a movie because then it would have more room to work with.
Well, let me say this: the finale itself, I thought, was actually really, really good, but the build up to it by introducing the rest of the pillars, sans Star Scroll, I think that
I
was the
hated
big
that.
issue. Like
Yeah.
if they place it out, spread out a little more throughout the season, then it probably would have worked a little better. Like have Campfire Tales at the beginning, then Darren
they
Dunn in the
chucked
middle,
3 of
and
them.
and Helpful
3 of them
Information
into one episode. That's how much they didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I felt like, wait a minute, didn't 2 of them have like their own little sequence, and now these 3 are just being shoved down our throat in one episode? What gives?
That's true. I will give it that. The fact that they had to squeeze 3 into Campfire Tales while they give the other 2, Sans Star Swirl, their own episode. Yeah, I will agree with that voice. The build-up leading to the finale was lacking.
And that really hurts me because that really hurt me because I just could not relate to any of these new characters other than maybe Star Swirl because I was really looking forward to him. Everybody else, I don't even remember their names. So, with that, I am done. I will pass it off to Big Bird.
Oh, so now we come to the end, which was the beginning. First shall be last, and last shall be first. All right. Basically, everyone's been talking about the stuff I would talk about, but of course I had one thing in reserve that I knew none of you would answer. And how could you all? I am so disappointed. Starlight Glimmy Glim, you do not get to use the eyebrow raise. The eyebrow raise is Applejack's stick. Applejack does not have a lot going for her at the moment. You do not take from her. However, I do want to follow up on what Voice said as his positive, that this was the culmination, in many ways, of Starlight's character. Taking her own negative experiences and turning into the proponent of someone else who was lost. But this is not a negative of the episode, but it's a question as we move forward. What next for Starlight, sorry. What next for Starlight? Because now that she's had this sort of crystallization of her past experience, it's time for her to move forward. I say this as a Luna fan. If you keep coming back to the same point of tragedy and that becomes the character's sole defining trait, it taxes people's enjoyment. Mm-hmm. And I understand that. To draw a parallel, Sunset Shimmer crystallized her experience when she redeemed Midnight Sparkle. Now, as we have this rapid fire of Equestria Girls shorts coming out, not once has she gone on about, I was such a bad person. She's actually becoming more of herself in the future.
So you have magic, and it's not that great.
So in a way, you're not really like. Let me see if I have this right. You're not really sure what would be next for Starlight in terms of, her own character aside from, what she did in the past. Through the past seasons, that's all we focused on. We're not sure what else she's like as a full character.
Well, I'm saying that I understand what she has. She has great potential. She has a thirst for magic and knowledge. She can pursue a great many goals. But it's time to put, I made a mistake, I tampered with time, I was an awful pony. Leave that alone for a while. Just put it in a box and leave it.
Thank you.
Or it may come into play in the future, but not be her central defining trait. This is also something I felt in issue 50 of the comics, where that was basically all Starlight harped on about. I used to be the bad guy.
Yeah, that kind of got old after a while. Like after the 7th time, where even I'm like, we get it. She was bad. Is there anything else to her character?
Yeah, I like it with Trixie, because their whole character dynamic is that we both messed up in the past and we're trying to be better people.
But the fun of that lays
somebody still has yet to know some manners.
Well, Trixie and Starlight I find fun in the moment because Trixie is still a troublemaker in her own way.
Yeah.
All Bottled Up was a great example. It wasn't them lamenting, we used to be so bad. It's like, will you take this seriously for a minute?
Yeah.
But I swear, if she does that eyebrow raiser thing again, I'm getting a razor and just shave her non-existent eyebrow straight off.
Anywho, I think we've about covered everything.
I'll be like a certain Stan Lee, Stan Lee character.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a sense, I actually really do agree with Silver now, because for the longest time, like the stuff that Starlight was focused on about her past and stuff, I have to agree, that was pretty much all that she had for her, and now that she's, as you said, crystallized from that, what's really next for her?
That is an interesting question. I can't wait till they dedicate half of the episodes in season 8 to Starlight Glimmer.
Don't push your luck, Ninja.
I've seen the chart. I find it quite funny how, season 5, there's a few seasons. Season 6, there's even more. Season 7, there's a ton. And season 8, it's just all Starlight. It's just Starlight, the show.
Anywho, I believe we're at the end finally?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we had a few derailments, but we still got to the end. Now, this is going to be the last one for a while. It is time for this week's winner of the Roundtable meme face. Now let me go put this in here for everybody. And there you go. So, this week's winner comes to us from...
Joey's!
It's Jasper Pie with Bring Me Your Virgins and 10 kegs of cider.
Yes.
I don't know about this Joey funny. Guy. He seems a bit dodgy.
I think he's alright. He's pretty good.
Hey, Jasper wins, yay.
Alright, now this is going to be the final Roundtable meme face of Season 7, and probably the last one for a while. So I had to think, what's going to be the best face for it? And it turns out, I already found one.
Oh, boy.
It is...
Yes, that makes sense.
This.
Oh, no!
I figured...
Why is a picture of a trash can a meme face?
Get out.
You guys know what to do. I shouldn't have to explain it, but if you're new to these, what you got to do is I'm going to go post this picture up on my Twitter. You go to reply to it with the funniest or best subtitle you can think of in the picture, and I will pick a winner for next episode and whatnot.
In before everyone says the same exact thing, Senpai noticed me.
I am disqualifying that if that's the case, because I want to see some creativity.
I should really finish my Twilight Was Better Before Wings video.
And maybe you should jump in a river of acid.
Thank you, Uncle Sawhorse.
Wow!
I said
right.
Finish it. Jeez. Nastiness.
Usually I'm the one getting threatened. I like this.
I know!
Anyway,
it's your day off.
Thank you guys for turning out for another awesome season of Roundtable's Magic. We managed to cover Season 7 from beginning to end. So, as always, we're going to end this session with our next episode, which will be talking about the best and worst of Season 7. Followed up, finally, with the review of the movie. And then we're going to take a hiatus for a while. I think that's fair for some people.
Yep.
I think there's anything... Yeah, we should plug something. As of this time this video is going up, which hopefully will be on time, Silver Quill, sir, would you like to plug a little convention that a few of us are going to?
There's this little thing called Equestria LA, which is in this little-known city of Los Angeles.
Yeah, boy.
It will be the final convention. for Equestria LA. They're closing their doors, but they're going out with a bang as they bring in both Big Jim Miller and Lauren Faust.
Aww, this is their last con, and I can't go. I've never even been. This is
sorry,
sad.
Yeah, sorry, Bliss.
Well, you will be there in spirit, and I will be selling some of Blissy's prints in the community guest vendor hall.
Yes.
Yay.
Along with my print of me shipping her with Flash Sentry. Please buy both.
I knew there was going to be a price to this.
Hey, Silver.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion for another piece of Bliss trigger art.
No.
Don't
No.
you dare.
Save it
She's
for the
sick.
post
Come
show.
on, man. Don't be a low blow.
Please don't. Not now.
I'm sick. You have no mercy for a sick
A
alicorn.
dainty, cute, little innocent, defenseless, merciless, cute Dalicorn.
You're dead
Let's
to
do
me.
the Lightning Bliss show.
You got the merciless down.
Anyways.
Anyway, Silver's not the only one that's going to be vending. Keyframe and her art sister, Abby Rohde, will also be vending their own works, including new cutouts and shadow boxes from Samet Lion. If you were there at Ponyville Cider Fest, those sold like hotcakes.
Oh, yeah. They
yes.
did.
Yes, I shan't be alone in this. We've got Commander Firebrand shall be there. I love Kim Possible a lot. Toon Critic, the Wilsonator / Despio. Yeah.
Yes.
Will Katie be joining you?
Yes, my fiance Katie Patterson will also be there.
I believe
Yay.
also Golden Fox will be joining us.
Yes, I've actually managed to figure out a way to get a full-time attending to the convention.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, so that way he can work around his work schedule, and also I can't believe you didn't put this in your announcement video, Toon. A&Y will also be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What, really? He's going over?
Yeah,
Yeah.
A&Y's
I
flying
am
all the
more
way from
sad.
Germany.
Cool.
So if the con doesn't work, we can blame A&Y.
Yeah.
I like the idea that A&Y goes over and just leaves Keyframe in Germany.
But yeah, A&Y will be there, so will Sweetie Bloom and Hungry Soma, and her fiance Bonzato will also be there selling their wares.
And I also will have a panel there. I will have a panel out of the edge an hour with Toon Critic on Friday, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And I believe, Silver, you have a panel there as well.
Yes, I will be doing Dial It to 11, comedy through critiquing through comedy.
On
Wait
Friday?
a minute, that sounds like something Voice did.
Well, I'm going to do it too.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say it was better, just because.
We have the technology. We can rebuild her.
I hope you all have a miserable time.
Aw. Also,
Disneyland
see, now
voice.
you're thinking like me.
There you go.
also a tremendous number of voice actresses, voice actors,
We got
and
a
comic staff will be
star-studded
at this.
cast of not just people from the show, but also outside people from My Little Pony that in the Los Angeles area that'll be there, as well as a huge list of community guests and awesome amount of vendors. And if in case the con is not to your fancy, Disneyland is like 2 blocks up the street. So there's that.
You can all blab.
If you live in America, you should go.
Yeah, and also at Equestria LA, since they're going out with a bang, they will have special ticketed events. 2 of which that I'll be going to. One is called Laser Tag with Vincent Tong and Black Griffin.
Yes. I'm not the biggest
So,
fan
yeah.
of laser tag, but I hope that turns out well.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also Tea Time with the Princesses, where it's a little VIP meet and greet with Tara Strong, the voice of Twilight, and Susan Egan, the voice of Rose Quartz in Steven Universe, and Belle from the Broadway version of Beauty and the Beast.
How the heck they got
Yay!
Susan on, I have no idea. But hey, it's all good.
Oh, yeah, along with other stuff, like I believe there's also an event with Andrea Libman, with where you can make like cupcakes and pet puppies from a animal shelter and stuff like that. And there's also Inside the Animator's Studio with Lauren Faust.
Lauren Faust will be blessing the con with her presence, which I think is always great to see Lauren Faust at a con.
Well, of course Lauren Faust would go there. Los Angeles is where she resides, so why could she not?
The convention has made a Faustian bargain.
Anyways, thank you to everyone who has been watching all of Roundtable's Magic. This is episode 81 of the show. We're nearing 100, and I just want to say, now that we reached the end of Season 7, thank you guys for still tuning in to this show. It was a little show with just a few people, but we've expanded it into a much bigger podcast than I ever thought it would be, and it would not be possible without all these awesome people here. So, I just want to say thanks. Thank you for turning out. Thank you for Silver Quill for blessing this podcast with your presence once again.
Thank you for having me.
And I think that takes care of everything. So, thank you all for turning out for this episode of Roundtable's Magic, and we will see you on the next one. Stay awesome.